de sempre.
Meninos, dá aí help aí na tradução, enquanto eu filmo.
Então, pergunta aí pra mim, o que nós perguntamos pra nós. Isso aí eu vou pôr, não vai ser editado, vai ser escrito. Primeira vez no Rio, okay.
Right, it's your first time in Rio, but what do you think about the show, and also how is it going, the second tour on your second tour on South America?
So far so good. We got pulled over by the cops and checked for drugs.
Yeah.
They looked through all our bags and grabbed our dicks and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it sucked, but I mean we got here.
Yeah. That's
and then you know, we're all exhausted because the drive was really long. That's where they are. You know, let's see how the show goes, because we saw how small the room was. So whatever, we're just gonna play like what we usually do. And when we started, we noticed the room started filling up with more kids, and then like into the third song, kids were going wild, and I got really stoked, and I put out more energy, and I'm feeding off everybody. We're exchanging energy, and just having a great time. So for our first time in Rio, it was awesome. I couldn't be happier. Stoked with like the little place. I love little rooms because they're more intimate. They're more you can connect with people better.
Yeah.
It's personal. It's not. There's no barrier. There's no big arena. There's nothing. It's just us, the kids, the energy. And I think that's a perfect show.
Great. Right. Here in Brazil, we always listen to like the gang fights of the LA gangs fighting at shows from the suicidal tendencies back in the 80s. So we want to know, is it still going on? Is it something from the past?
No.
Violence, like gang violence and shows?
Yeah,
is this your thing?
All the gang, like the real gang violence that used to happen, doesn't happen anymore because Suicidal got banned for a couple years, I think, and they weren't allowed to play in Los Angeles for a while. They play there now, and I just saw them last year. And it's super cool, it's super fun, and like the show, the energy's awesome, people are circulating, it's really good. But
what about other bands from LA, like when you play, or like, let me see, like when I don't know, Piece by Piece, or
the shows get violent.
Fans,
yeah, the shows get violent, but not in the way where you're looking to fight someone. In the way where it's more like a football game.
Right.
You go, you have fun, you jump on each other. I punch my friends, they punch me. We're jumping on each other. We're having fun.
All right.
Every once in a while, someone comes in and they don't know what's going on. So they don't understand. So they get hit or they get pushed, and they take it very seriously. And then it ends up in a fight, or we try to break it up. And hey,
but it's not dangerous.
It's not dangerous. No, not to the point where someone's dying or anything. Somebody might get beat up really bad every now and then, but hey, that happens everywhere,
Right. Besides Rotting Out, you used to play on Minority Unit, right?
Yeah.
So Minority Unit folded?
We broke up. Too many bands.
Yeah.
Like, there was Rotting Out, Sleepwalkers, New Brigade, and
Soul Search.
New Brigade.
Soul Search.
Yeah.
So everybody was doing their own thing, so we could never practice. We had trouble practices. We're like, okay, let's just do one more show and just have fun.
But you don't have any other new projects besides Rotting Out?
No, not me. My brother sings in a band.
What's the name?
Violent Situation.
Violent Situation.
Yeah, that's my brother sings in that band. So and he used to be in Minority Unit with me. So like,
and
it's cool to see that.
You now play bass in Clear.
Yeah, I play bass in the band Clear.
Pat Flynn's new band from
I play guitar. Play guitar. But only when they're on the West Coast. I also do. I play in Like It or Not sometimes when they ever play shows.
Yeah.
But me and my friends are starting another band, just like a straight edge band, because there's not enough straight edge bands in Los Angeles. So fuck it.
Yeah. Okay, so hardcore down here, I mean, like you have to kind of like it happens between like work and study and touring.
Eu queria mais saber um negócio da divisão do tempo, entre como é que é a divisão do tempo dele entre trabalho, estudo.
How can you do like how did you find your time, like you work, you study, you're always touring?
I had to
when Hot Now happens in your life, like.
Well, I used to have a job, and I used to go to school, and then I would tour on the weekends, like, oh, let's go up the West Coast for 3 days, 4 days, Okay, let me call off work to do a week or 2 weeks. And then we started doing it more and more that I had to quit my job I had to quit school to do Rotting Out full time, you know, because we were gone for months, 6 weeks, 4 weeks.
So now it's full time.
Full time.
Right.
So when I go home, I go on Craigslist and look for jobs.
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
I try to make money anywhere I can.
Okay.
And all I do at home is hang out with my girlfriend, work when I can, and lift weights till I, you know.
That's life.
Yeah.
Make some money,
yeah.
pay the bills.
Yeah, do what I girls did.
Hang out with my friends. That's life. You never. Okay, we want to know about that specific lyric. You're never gonna make it with your positive views. Positive views.
É um trecho de uma brincadeira do, acho que é do Vandalize.
I think it's Vandalize. So
It's off no, it's off This Is Just Life.
It's just like
The
correct.
first 7 inch. That's on
Okay, yeah.
We want to know
the meaning behind that.
Yeah.
It was at a time where everybody was, a lot of youth crew bands were coming out and they were like super positive, super straight edge, and like in the real world that's not gonna help you. Like you can be positive as much as you can, but you still gotta face problems and they're still gonna get under your skin. You know, like people be like, oh yeah, if I'm just positive, my life will be positive. I'll surround myself. It's like no, you walk out into the world with open arms. It's gonna hit you in the face. You know, this is the real world we live in. It's not pretty. You have to accept it, and sometimes you got to get your hands dirty to make it out alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got to do what it takes to stay alive, and sometimes that means stepping on some toes, or stepping on people. You know, like that's the way it is. It's not pretty, but it's life.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
To finalizate, one more question. Alguma coisa surpreendeu ele aqui no Brasil, da primeira cena hardcore?
So far, the hardcore scene in Brazil, or just for your previous experience from the show, I think it was last year, right? There's something like kind of like surprised you or like got your attention?
I was actually surprised that people even knew who we were.
Really?
Yeah, because like we're from Los Angeles and I grew up you know, in the ghetto, and like I never thought anybody would care about anything me and my friends would do. All we did was just play in our garage and write a couple records, you know. We were stoked to write records, but the fact that someone we've never met in another country listens to our band, and there's enough people that like us to get flown out free.
Yeah.
Like, it means a lot to us. Like, it's crazy. Because we played the last show in Sao Paulo 6 months ago, and it was full. The room was full. What was it, like 200 kids, something like that?
A little bit more, around that.
Yeah, a little bit more.
250.
Yeah, something like that. And like, I'm like, what's going on? Like, this is crazy. And you know, obviously, all I can do is go as hard as I can, like I always do. Just give them everything I have and show my appreciation. You know, and hopefully they can get lost in the moment, and lost in the room, and lost in the energy. Even if it's for 30 minutes, you know, to somebody going to the show, they'll remember that forever.
Yeah.
You know, and even if they don't remember it, they're, oh, that was a cool show, and then, oh, what show was it? But for me, I'll remember it forever. You know what I mean? It means more to me than it does to somebody that came out.
And do you think like that do you feel like more of a connection with like most of those guys there? They also live in the ghetto. I mean, they are trying too hard to understand what you're saying because they don't have English lessons on their school, and they are like feeling it, you know, like you can see like when you play, they understand, or if they don't understand, como é que você fala, tipo, decorou? They memorize your lyrics.
Oh yeah,
do you think
yeah.
more do you think like a bigger connection
They
with,
try to get involved.
yeah, a bigger connection with that type of audience, like with poor kids playing?
Yeah. Of course, because in LA, you know, Mexicans and Latinos are not really the richest people there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's most of us are poor. I grew up in the projects, in like the real ghetto, like with gangs and stuff. So like us playing to a punk kid makes more sense than us playing to a kid from the suburbs or from like a rich area that doesn't really understand that, oh, this is cool music.
Yeah.
But they won't understand what I'm talking about. You know, they won't understand certain problems I've had in my life. You know what I mean? Like walking down the street and always looking over your shoulder, you know, like that's something we shouldn't have to do, but we do it because of where we live and where we're from. You know, you gotta be careful, you gotta be ready at all times, you know. somebody that was raised in like a rich neighborhood or that was very wealthy doesn't understand that tension, that that quick twitch to be ready at all times. And I know I can tell which kids are from which areas sometimes just by the way they look, or I can even see it in their eyes when they're like singing along and what it means to them, and it's cool. And like I think that's awesome that there's a connection.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay.
Finish?
Finish. We need to set things up with
Okay.
Pedro.
Thanks a lot, Walter.
No problem.
Thank you.
Man. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. But we're gonna be together.
Valeu, Rafa.
Vamos lá. Vamos lá sentar.